Alrighty, here we are back on episode 3 of the Communist Utopia. So, let's get into it. I received a comment in one of my previous videos and someone said I should turn up the music. I think I'll leave it up maybe for the rest of this playthrough, but I typically don't like listening to the music. I've just heard it so many times. But, here's our little island. Everything seems to be doing pretty alright. We have plenty of vacant homes now with the tenements that we made. We've got a bunch of unemployed people, which is alright because the last thing that I was talking about was setting up a bit of tourism. So we have a bunch of money and we have unemployed people, so this means that we are primed to start setting up some tourism. First things first, of course you're going to need a tourist port. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make this one. No, because when the tourists show up, the first place they're going to want to go is to their hotel. I would like them to show up at a decent location though. I wouldn't want them to show up and have to like show up right behind a rum distillery. That'd be kind of silly, I think. You know what I could do? Is I could make one of these islands like the touristy place. Like this is where they'll show up and they'll like kind of live out on this island. So the motels I could probably build all out here. Yeah, I think that'll do. So we need to wait for that to construct. Once this is built up, I believe we can access the rest of the island. I don't want to quick build it. The tourist port already costs so much money, so we'll just leave it. But I've never set up tourism on an island that was poor. Build a snorkel bay. You know what I might do too is turn up the voices, because voices are pretty funny sometimes. Oh, you know what? Only play stream safe music. So, I'm not sure if that's super important for making a YouTube video, but I'll leave it checked. Let's go through, make sure that none of our plantations are overstocked with too much stuff in their storage. There's one with 700, but nothing else seems to have too much, so I think we are in a pretty okay spot. I probably won't need the Pirate Cove anytime soon. Let's check out the raids. I don't plan on doing any of this, like looting or rescue raids. Ideally, I want to get the happiness scores pretty high, and this will make it so that people want to immigrate to the island. Ideally. But I guess we'll see how that turns out in the future. If I can't really get them that high with having a poor island, then I might start stealing some people and pulling them to the island. Job happiness always going to be low. Housing, we can get this to 100. Once we get the tenements up and electricity on the island, we'll be able to get the housing quality on all these tenements to probably over 100. I wonder if tenements produce pollution. I'm not sure if they do. Pretty sure they do. I guess we'll see in the future.
Now that the war is over, Presidente, we finally have a chance to demonstrate your unlimited greatness to the world. I am so excited.
Establish tropical paradise for
Yes,
tourists.
The greatest nation is the one that has the most postcards on the refrigerator of the world. Tourists. Inspired thinking, Presidente.
Yes, sirree. That is going to be the plan. Tourism. Is this guy not... Is anyone building this? What is going on? Okay, people are building it. Alright. National Day just leveled up. Let's see what this changes. It increases the efficiency of all taverns and cocktail bars by 15% now. I believe that's up from the 10%, so it seems like it'll get up to 20%. A 20% efficiency boost, which is pretty decent. Decreases religious standing by 8. So it kind of nullifies the debuff that we're getting to the religious faction standing. So that's pretty nice. We're starting to get a lot of communists on the island, which is pretty good. And so as we can see here, there's 52 people that are capitalist and 150 people that are communist, with 30 people being indifferent. So that means 230 people. So it's like, where's the extra 100 people? I'm pretty sure those are all children. So there's that. Right here we have 3 monkhouses in a row. And so if we put 3 more here, then we can replace all of these with a total of 4 tenements. And I think this extra space here, what I could do is just put a high school. So it should fit nicely right here. Start getting educated people on the island. I might need to start focusing a bit more on getting more production out soon. So in the beginner's guide that I made, episode 1, I go over different ways to set up plantations, and this is one right here. It's like a mega plantation. So the buildings that are in the center are going to get the biggest buffs. And so already we have 1, 2, 3, 4 sugar plantations. And so like I was talking about in the last episode, because the efficiency is so low, and as a matter of fact we changed the constitution, the ecology option here to 0 emissions, and this gave us a decrease in efficiency for all of our industrial buildings. And so now these are down to 40%. So as a matter of fact, let's see if the taverns notice this. Doesn't look like it. Supply local market is still at 10%, which means that each of these is still giving a buff of 5%. So that's cool. We might be losing a lot of money. Not sure. I mean, we should have plenty of sugar. Sugar in 2000, sugar in 2000. I mean, I could risk it by building a bunch of rum distilleries up. I'm not sure how I feel about it though. So I'm gonna build a plaza that's 3 wide here, and then 2 more spaces for the housing. And then I kind of want to leave a 1 space gap. As a matter of fact, what I could do is build a road down this way. I could make like a little industrial zone, nothing like too crazy, but I could do things like the juicery over here, a cannery, a couple canneries actually, and a couple more rum distilleries. So we'll be producing a lot of our own goods on this island, which might be convenient. Put this here. I'm gonna build 2 rum distillers. We're gonna risk it. We'll see how that turns out. Oh no, I built up the tourist port. We can leave this on this budget here. The flour lay dispenser, go with that. And what I could do is cabin preferred by backpacker tourist. And then a motel. Low quality tourist accommodation with 8 rooms. And then this is 1 room. Cabana village. Thrill seeking. I think getting a lot of cabins up would be a pretty good idea, but I'm gonna definitely build up. I'll build up a couple of these. I'll start off with the motel. Build it right here. kind of make this like a concrete-ish area here. Fit this in here. Can build like sort of a main road just down the ways here. Is this a tourist boat? It is, so I'm gonna quick build this just so we can get like our first chunk of tourists on the island right away. And I still want to keep everyone poor, so we'll go with, oh, I can go with the max budget and still keep people poor here. Thrill seeking. Upkeep is increased by 50%. Thrill seeking. I'm gonna leave this how it is. Did this just show up and not deliver anyone?
Tropico intend to vote for you, Presidente.
No need to force people to vote. Okay, we're just gonna leave that how it is, and let's build up a number of buildings. We'll do the ancient ruins. This is actually like a really good building, so we'll build that up there. This also means that we're going to need to build a landing for them to visit. Which way is the front? So I think this way right here is the front. So what I could do is build a real quick landing. Right here. And here. I'm gonna go ahead and quick build these. It's only 150 to quick build these little buildings up. Put this on high priority, kind of like if there's other things to build, then it'd be nice if they built that first. We got a couple of rooms here. I'm not sure what backpackers enjoy. I believe this is cultural tourist. Nothing specifically. Funfair pier, definitely not. Backpacker. Thrill seeking. What about luxury entertainment? Cultural tourist, cultural. Definitely thrill seeking, relaxation. Can do a snorkel bay. We'll do the snorkel bay for them. So that should be fine. It's going to be a little slow going in the beginning, but eventually we should be in a pretty good spot. So this depends on the local beauty. Just go through on the edge of this beach, I think would be a pretty good idea. To build up just a number of these little cabins wherever I can. Maybe try and leave them a gap of like 3. Just so we can fit kind of as many as we can here. Okay, we're kind of spending a lot of money. Go through, put all of these on the low priority. So they're like split between what they should build. The last thing they should build is come and do some of these cabins out here. The beauty of this little island should be pretty good, so I think it'll... There we go. These should have a pretty good efficiency, these little buildings here. Let's check out the beauty. Cool, the motel isn't ruining the beauty in the local area. Pretty good. Maybe I could build some stuff up for cultural tourists as well, because they are going to be coming to check out the taverns, just because the efficiency of them is going to be pretty decent. And then on top of that, they'll probably come and start filling in the theater. And the theater is a cultural tourist building. Because we're a poor island, it probably would be a pretty good idea to build up another construction office here. I was giving it some thought, and I realized that like the newspaper I'm doing everything right. It's just I realized that like half of the area of effect is out here in the middle of the water. So giving it a little bit of thought, it'd be a good idea to move it like way over here. Somewhere that it's still affecting all the current housing.
That was a close one, Presidente.
But that would allow me to...
Listen, Presidente. My friend and I are like peas in a pod. I'm just the bigger pea. The better pea, if you will, because I make...
moving the newspaper would allow me to...
For the best. Back my plan, El Presidente. You can't seriously think that building factories is a better bet than playing the market. IPOs, EPS, YOLOs. Come on, Prez. Back a winner. You know I'm right.
Okay, like I'm saying. Moving the newspaper over here would allow me to affect a lot more housing with just these 2 buildings than what they're currently affecting. So that would probably be the best move. Once these rum distilleries get some sugar in their input storage, then we should be in a pretty good spot. Because that's going to give another 5% per rum distillery. A bonus to the efficiencies of these taverns. As we can see, supply local market is currently at 10%, so it'll be up to 20%, hopefully. It just depends on how much the very low efficiency of these is going to affect stuff. Why is efficiency 65? Budget modifier, 0 emissions, supply local market, that's why, okay. We're at negative 10,000, not ideal. We're about to make a bunch of money back, so we'll be at least in the positive. And let's see if our first chunk of tourists start showing up here. Would be pretty nice. The ancient ruins just got finished. Put this on this budget here, make it for tourist only. Service quality of 86, so it should soak up most of the people. Put this on this. Make it for tourist only. Okay, so I think everything is going to be pretty good here. Allow wild catches. Every visitor decreases the fish resource by 5 units, increases service quality by 10%, increases fee by 8%. So allow wild catches. I think this is definitely what I'm going to do.
You put the Earth first and now everyone is happy. Or they would be if they knew how important the planet was.
Yes. Okay. So our first chunk of tourists just showed up. We just made $29,000 on the freighter. That's a pretty good number. Here is the tourist. I wonder where they are all going. I like how they just like sit calmly in the boats.
Just squeeze past, please.
Anyways. So now we have tourists on the island. They're going to be roaming around doing stuff. Let's see where she is going. On her way to the church. What? I didn't know that they wanted to go to church. For these... Housing quality 44. What's the housing quality of this? 40. So the cabins are going to be way better. Wait. What's the efficiency even do with this? Scales the service quality. It doesn't look like it. 54.
El Presidente announces a new Snitch for Cash program. Report something suspicious today, and you could win fabulous cash prizes.
54, 44. Okay, so having all these cabins on the highest budget would probably be best. It is going to cost like a lot of money though, so I don't know. Already we're losing like $100, $200 here and there. I think I'm going to let the island kind of just chill out for a while before I try and do anything else. Maybe I could build a church here. Just for the tourists to show up and check out. I could also build a fortress here. That might look cool. Maybe like right here, and then put like a couple of guard posts here. Just for the aesthetics. Tourism, ethnic enclave. Visitors must be well off or better. I'm just gonna give it some time. Let's see if I can research the snorkel bay now. I've never done this, I don't think. Yeah, we have plenty of research points. So now we can do allow wild catches. This pushes the fee income to $131. That's pretty good. Anything we can do here? Preferred by relaxation, thrill-seeking, and child tourists. Not what I'm trying to get. Need to be filthy rich. The building has no server visitor slots. Unofficial scavenging site. Anyways. This is the first chunk of tourists showing up. It is. Cool. Preferred by cultural tourists. I thought this was a backpacker one. So we have cultural tourists showing up. So I'm going to make this, I guess, for cultural and backpacker tourists. Did we just get new people? We did. Cool. It would be nice if some of these started filling in, but they're not. Unfortunate. No, we didn't just get new tourists, did we? Maybe it was people leaving this building. I think that's what it was. This place already generated us $1,500. Pretty good. Only $400 here. I believe we can kind of get a good idea of what's going on with our tourism here. Tourist distribution, backpack, child, thrill-seeking, cultural, relaxation. Okay. So a lot of cultural and not quite as many backpackers. Tourist rating. Tourist rating modifier. Good old days is helping out relaxation, I guess. Cultural. Oh, looks like good old days is giving everyone something. Tourist attractions. Snorkel Bay. 84. Snorkel Bay is definitely doing the most. In terms of cultural buildings, let's see what else we could do. A busker, definitely don't want to do that. Preferred by backpacker tourist. Botanical garden. That might be something that I'll do, I'm not sure yet. Let the island cruise along while I'm checking out these menus here. A restaurant. A theater. I could make a theater that's just for tourists. That might be a good idea. Hey, some people are showing up here. Monthly income $24 and we're spending $18. So we make a little bit of money off of each of these. So that's not terrible. What are these guys doing? Constructing something. Cabaret. Preferred by cultural tourists, so we could do a cabaret, a theater. We probably won't make it so where we have rich tourists showing up. Gourmet restaurant. So a theater, a cabaret. Maybe an ethnic enclave. I've never done this before. I'm gonna, well, yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and build up a number of extra cabins. Might as well just get them cruising along as much as possible. What I could end up doing is actually building them out on like all these little places out here.
I know the military understands the importance of industry, because we make their weapons. Son, your toys come from my factories, so tell El Presidente that my request's more important than yours.
The military thanks you for making its toys, but we need more places to play with them. Defending the nation means imagining every possible threat, Presidente. And I see imaginary threats on all sides.
This is funny, they both want me to get a nuclear program. I mean, I'm definitely not going to, but we'll just pretend that we are. Why is happiness or our support shooting down? Not sure. Vacant jobs, vacant homes. We are pretty much chilling. So something pretty nifty that you can do is if there's buildings that aren't being completely lived in, like these 3 bunkhouses here, I'm just going to pause them for a while. And so this is going to make these numbers both closer to 0, which is more ideal. $20,000 in a second. Support, happiness. We have plenty of food happiness. Healthcare happiness should be at least decent right now. 55, 55, 55. So we've got plenty of healthcare happiness, as much as we're going to be able to get. Fun happiness is decent. Faith happiness is going to be capped at 45, so we could probably end up building another church. Just to make them a little bit happier. Housing, job, liberty, crime, safety. I could build a police station too. I think that's what I'm probably going to do, is destroy this newspaper here. Or not destroy it, but move it somewhere else. So let's see if we can move it. Yeah, like moving it here would be really ideal. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. It's going to fire the workers, which kind of sucks. We'll have to wait a while. But now that this area is freed up, what I could do is... Because if we check out the crime safety of the island, right next to the dock, this is where it's going to be the worst. And putting down a police station. It's a 4x2, which kind of sucks, so we're going to have to find a way to fit this in. I think right here. So what I could do is move this to here. And then come through, destroy these parks. And I think that'll leave me just enough room to fit this in. Cool. So now we'll have our first police station. We don't really need to worry about making like production and industry buildings right now because we're focusing on getting more tourists on the island. Looks like a bunch of people are about to show up to the ancient ruins. So income, lifetime, that's what we're really focused on. We want this building to generate money over its lifetime. Cool. What I think might be kind of convenient, or maybe not convenient, but it'll just like look kind of cool, is because people are going to kind of walk out to their cabins, it'll spread them out. And something that you might notice whenever you make tourism is like people tend to bunch up in like these groups. And I don't think that's like the coolest looking thing. Efficiency 115, I wonder why. Oh, the location. That's pretty cool. I wonder if in the overlays it shows you fish. It does. So it doesn't look like this fish resource is decreasing. Did I change the work mode? Every visitor decreases the fish resource by 5 units. Maybe it's bugged and it doesn't happen. I mean, that would be kind of cool because then I just wouldn't need to worry about it, but perhaps not like the most ideal thing. Maybe it's because no one showed up since I've done it. I guess we'll see. Preferred by thrill seeking. I thought this was... Preserve the wreath. I thought this was for the backpacker tourist. Is it not? Snorkel Bay. Preferred by backpacker and thrill seeking tourist. Well, I guess that's alright. So, because I was talking about how tourists and your Tropicans will search for buildings with the highest service quality, they should only be sticking to the ancient ruins and the Snorkel Bay. Maybe they just want to also do other things. So we could build a cabaret. And why not build a theater? What might look cool would be to set up a parking deck. And then one all the way at the other end of this road. Maybe kind of hide it in the trees there. These parking decks are definitely going to... I'm going to quick build them just so I can see what's going on. Go with the max budget setting. What does efficiency do even on this building? I don't know. Maybe we'll go with the lowest setting. But these parking decks are definitely going to ruin the beauty in the nearby area. Oh, it doesn't look like it's ruining it that bad. That's pretty good for us. So I think I might do like a couple parks here. And then like another motel. Maybe like a fast food restaurant. Just to kind of complete the look. So what I'm hoping for is that our taverns aren't going to be like too completely booked all the time because the tourists are showing up here. So I'd rather keep the... Doesn't look like it. I'd rather keep the tourists kind of like away from my population. Let's see. 30,000, what the heck? We're making a lot of money here. Maybe what I could do is make this island set up so that we produce all of the consumer goods. That might be a pretty cool idea. If you come to the resources and click here, you can see consumer goods. Consumer goods can be brought to your groceries. So as we can see, goods and rum. The more consumer goods you have in here, the higher the fee income. Putting more consumer goods doesn't increase the service quality. The only way to do that was with canneries and with getting more food types in here. So, I mean, that would be a pretty communistic and a pretty cool idea, is making like an organic state. So we're never importing like foreign consumer goods, we just make it all ourselves. Very communistic idea. Our support is steadily dwindling. I don't think it's the fact that our happiness is going down, it's just stagnating in comparison to the Caribbean happiness. The politics seem fine, the communists are getting upset because we made a bunch of cabins on the island. That's probably another major reason that we're losing a lot of support. Once that goes away, then we should be okay. At least the support should start going up a bit. 13 diehard capitalists. What we could end up doing is getting an asylum pretty soon. But I definitely want to get the money rolling on the island before anything like that. I think I'm going to have to slow down on building new cabins. That might be one of the only major problems that we could be running into in the near future.
We can't bank on saving
Build another snorkel bay, sure. Guess I could do that. I wonder if people will go from like one snorkel bay to the other snorkel bay. I mean, I don't mind spending the money, but I would rather only do it once this is completely like completely booked all the time. I have a feeling that let's check in on some of these people. Like, what is this child doing? Where are these people going? Current activity leisure.
I am sorry, not today, please.
Are we there yet? Did I take a wrong turn?
Did I take a wrong turn?
I'm so stressed.
I can arrest people that aren't from our island. Oh no, that's a Tropican.
Why is everyone staring at me?
I can arrest people that aren't from the island. That's pretty gnarly. Classical staging. Leave it on this one. No tourists prefer this building. Leave it on classical staging. Make it for tourist only. Check out the cabaret. Go down to this. Make it for tourist only as well. These are pretty low, but I think it'll be okay. Could get playback equipment to help increase the cabaret's efficiency just a little bit. We got a bunch of efficiency or support back, probably due to the fact that the communists are kind of getting over our cabins. So once this completely goes away, we should be in a pretty decent spot with them. We could also do some more communistic edicts, but the thing about doing communistic edicts is that typically the capitalists aren't too happy with it, and so I don't want to make them too upset too quickly. I should probably build a new grocery sometime very soon. I think I actually might do that now. So we can't get it to face this way, and I think it would look completely goofy to just like stick it into a wall. Can't do it this way. I don't think that would look good either. Maybe, no, I don't want it right in front of the high school. Maybe we'll do it here. How are these clinics doing? Completely booked. Completely booked, completely booked. So maybe we could build another clinic. What do the environmentalists think? I wonder why they give us like a task to do. They usually only do this when they're upset with you, but it turns out that they're actually pretty happy with us. Because we're building up cabins, it looks like. Religious, why are they happy? Our edicts. Constitution, we should research these two. Maybe I have enough research points now. Labor policy, religion, and state. So let's check out the Constitution. Make this a theocracy. I think this might decreases overall tourism rating by 5. That kind of sucks. Decreases liberty as well. Should be okay though. I'll have to kind of work around the liberty penalties. Citizens are required to start working at the age of 14. Cannot retire. Decreases average life expectancy by 5 years. Decreases the job quality of each workplace by 2. Decreases immigration. Early retirement. Increases the job quality of each workplace. We'll do this. So everyone can retire sooner. The main reason is that the job quality of all of our jobs are going to be pretty low anyways, so a little buff here and there is pretty good. Everyone's going to be retiring a lot sooner. The island's only been up for 21 years, but at some point it would be a really good idea to get social. We'll just do that now.
He loves money, but there is not enough to go around. It never hurts to seem more generous than you are, and nothing is quite as magnanimous as Social Security. Free money without having to work for it. If you ignore the ghastly mountain of paperwork, of course. If we offer it to just the elderly and university students, we won't have to pay out to most of the population, but we'll still seem implausibly big-hearted. A nearly flawless scam.
It's a funny way of looking at it. Recipients have an increased personal experience. What this means, if you ever see personal experience, this is talking about, I believe, their support for you. And so everyone who gets the Social Security money will like us just a little bit more, which is pretty cool. Increases communist standing by 8, decreases capitalist standing by 12. Retirees, adult students receive 60% of the average wage paid on Tropico. So right now it is only $4, so that's pretty cool. We'll issue that. So if someone retires or if they're an adult who goes to the high school, paying these people way too much, we could also go and research this. But if they're an adult that goes to the high school, then we will be giving them free money. Here we're going to do parochial education. Efficiency decreased by 10. All graduates have a 50% chance of shifting their faction orientation towards the religious faction. Pretty convenient. Very good for us. Our support steadily super increasing. Reason being is our communists are not completely, but they're mostly over the cabins that we're building. Religion, state, labor policy. Let's check our liberty. We don't want this getting too low. Oh wow, what the heck? The island is in a pretty bad state. So what you can do, you're wondering why the liberty is so low, you can click here and liberty happiness modifiers. No separation and theocracy is lowering it by 15%. So let's do some consideration in terms of things that we can do to increase it. Immigration, media independence. So let's check out these constitution topics. So none of these are any good. State-controlled media. I don't think that this actually works. I could be wrong. But every time I've done this, my media buildings just completely stopped influencing people. I could be completely wrong though. Maybe they just influenced everyone very quickly. And by the time I checked it, it just seemed like it wasn't influencing anyone. But this is super communistic thing to do. A super communistic thing to do. And I would like to do it. It at least fits the island, but I'm not going to do it. Increases revenue of media buildings by 100%. Love it or leave it. Decreases the chance of unhappy citizens staying in Tropico by 50%. So neither of these are going to help out with liberty. Let's check in on edicts, see if there's anything we can do with the edicts. I'm not sure if there's anything that we can do, as a matter of fact. One thing I know for sure is that there's the right to bear arms. Increases industrialist standing, don't care about that. Increases capitalist standing, don't care about that. Decreases militarist standing by 15%. So we're going to do the right to bear arms. Research it. Enact. Cost 2,500. But the main thing is that we're completely like leveling this out. So we're losing 10 and then 5, so 15, but then we're gaining back 15. And so now if we check the liberty of the island, everything should be 50. And then if you go into the town near the newspapers, it goes up a bit. So now we should have no problems with rebels. Hopefully. Plantation. What? So now our island's looking pretty good. Can start building out a bit of a plaza here soon. Let's check in on our taverns, see if the supply local market. Yeah, so this is 20%, so this is ideal. That means I only need to build 2 more rum distilleries and we'll be getting the max bonus from supply local market. Keeping up the organic state. Alrighty, so I didn't do any recording yesterday because I was busy recording a bunch of small clips for the beginner's guide that I was setting up. So there's that. But I am back, and the last thing that I was talking about was the rum distilleries. And so what I was hoping wouldn't happen is the efficiency is down to 40% now, and I was hoping that the bonus that I was giving to the taverns wouldn't go so low as a 4, but it's still 5, because we have 4 rum distilleries on supply local market, and so that's pretty convenient for us. But I just recorded all of this, and so I'm gonna record it again, but with some foresight that I've been gifted. Build this road out. Build a road all the way down this way. And so while I was recording it just a minute ago, I was thinking about it, and it would be better to get down production first. And so I was running into kind of money problems, not like terrible, but I was building up a lot of taverns or cabins out here, and they were just taking a bit long to start generating a lot of money. And so I'd rather get down other things first. And so what I'm gonna do here is put a bunch of plantations in a row. And I want the sugar plantation to be in the middle of these. Oh no, I just quick built that. And it's probably got a terrible efficiency. It doesn't. Wow. I wonder why. We will demolish it anyways. So I'm also gonna build another coconut harvester. Actually, I could build one here. Wow. Build one there. Build one over here. Cool. So that is 2 coconut harvesters that we have. Pretty cool. Don't need to work too hard for that. And let's first check our population. So we'll just wait a little bit here. I'm gonna put this in ×4 speed. Typically don't, but at the same time, the last recording that I just did, I made it all the way to like 30 minutes, and I don't want it to get that long. I'm moving this newspaper over. I talked about that a little while ago. And in its stead, I want to put more teams, another Teamster's office there. What else I could do just to kind of spend a little bit of money is... I'm not sure if at this point I've talked about it, but what I want to do is put a bunch of cabins all around these little places out here. So how I've surrounded this little island with cabins, I want to do the same thing for this one, and this one, and this one. And so that'll be pretty cool. Instead of having a bunch of hotels like all over the islands of some of my other builds, we'll just have cabins out here. And so I talked about it a little bit. My brother was over here, and I was kind of showing him the little island that I was trying to set up here. And I came to the realization that I wanted this to be set up just a little bit different. Out here in the trees, we'll make this nice little place. We'll move this hotel on over as well. Something like this. And then on top of all of that, build a church. Because I think tourists want to visit churches while they're here. So we'll build up a church. Doing shared seats is like really bad, especially on a very low budget build like this, because the reduction in service quality is like detrimental because it's already so low because we have the budget set so low. So you definitely wouldn't want to do this for your population. But what I'm gonna do is put this one over here, and hopefully the tourists don't want to like fill this one up too much. They'd rather come to this one because there'll always be space. That's the goal, at least. Real quick, I'm gonna hit play and build up some parks around here. Turn off random variations. Put a number of parks around like this. Bam, bam, bam. Just to sort of fill in these little zones. And we have another little 1x3 here. Maybe something like that. So I think that looks pretty decent, at least. Getting a bunch of new tourists showing up all the time. Our support is going up. The reason being is that the communists are forgetting about all the cabins that we're building. Probably running into homeless problems. So I'll go ahead and unpause these buildings, and as soon as we run into more homeless problems, then I'll start deconstructing these to replace them with tenements. Change this to multicultural, put on the lowest budget. Looks like we're running into problems over here again. I didn't do this previously, but what I'm gonna do is build up some more ranches, cattle ranches. It looks like we can fit in. If I really go for it, I could probably fit in 2 here. I'm gonna quick build them because I'm kind of impatient. And change these to manure fertilizer. Nice. So they reach this sugar plantation here, which is really cool. Disallow local consumption. And so let's see if the efficiency, fertility, influence 10. So it looks like this is a flat 10, and having multiple ranches giving the same bonus to one plantation isn't going to increase it further. Kind of a shame, but that's a-okay. In the very least, we're getting a bunch of extra manure for our manure spreader over here, which is definitely going to be needed because we don't want the efficiency of these buildings to go too low too quickly. Right now is probably going to be a good time to set up another Teamster's office as well. I didn't do this previously, but I'm going to rescue a bunch of people. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and demolish these 3. Is this still... We'll turn on urban development now, and we'll replace those with tenements. Do an orange one and a green one. Maybe that'll look good. Put these on high priority because we're probably running into homeless problems definitely now. I'm gonna build another construction office as well. And as a matter of fact, what I could do is do this now. So move that over like that. Move our... Oh no, one space in the wrong area. So I'm gonna move the palace back. Because it's out of the way now, I'm gonna go ahead and demolish these roads here. So this leaves up a bunch of area right here that I can fill in with a nice little plaza. Once I make it to like over 100,000, might be whenever I go in. Actually, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna wait for... check in on the politics tab here, our next election. We'll wait for the next election to pass, and then I'll do all the cabins, like right as it's done. And so we'll focus on building up just like these buildings out here and stuff. Maybe what I could do is just move one of these cattle ranches so that it's not like completely wasted. Corn, what I decided I was going to do here is cocoa. And then let's see what else we can fit in. Cotton, rubber, corn, bananas. Oh man, nothing wants to go in this slot here. So I'm gonna just check out some things, see what we'll do best. So rubber at 71. Corn 67. Bananas 77. Probably bananas. Sugar, no. Maybe. No. Cocoa? We already have a cocoa. So bananas it is. Do a banana plantation there. Set all these. If you control click while other buildings like it, like other similar buildings are being constructed, if you control click the budget, it'll set these budgets as well. So now I don't need to worry about them spontaneously being on the highest budget. But as a matter of fact, I went through and I specifically decided to give the sugar plantations one step higher. So we'll go back and do that again. Oh no, we needed the road for this. Our construction office. We'll move this one here. And then maybe like right on the edge of town, sort of, we can construct another one. That might be the play. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Quick build it up. Put these guys on the lowest budget, ignore safety regulations, more hands. Just finished a rescue raid, so all the people should fill in any jobs that are up right now. And we're gonna need some more housing. We'll destroy these 3. We still have urban development enacted. We'll do a blue one here and then maybe a green one. I like to mix in the colors so everything looks like decent at least. I could buy Dundersteel for all of these guys. And with this extra plantation, the sugar plantation, these need to go on multiculture. With this extra plantation, we have 5. So I think that might be enough, especially with Dundersteel on all of these, that we could potentially get away with having enough sugar to supply all of our rum distilleries. Maybe, potentially. Guess we'll just have to see. I'm actually going to send it, and, well, how much population do we have? We'll do another rescue raid. Oh, didn't mean to do that. That's fine though. Rescue mini. Check our population numbers. We're going to need a little bit more housing. The reason we have unemployed people right now is because they were recently fired from a job. If you move buildings around, then it counts as being fired. And so that's the reason that we have these guys here. They would quickly fill in a job, but they've recently been fired. That's okay though. They will eventually fill in these buildings here. Put this sugar plantation on the max budget as well. And we should be okay to build up. I think I'm going to get all of the rum distilleries done right now. Maybe I won't. I'll wait a little bit on the last one because I want to kind of choose like at least a decent spot for them. Let's check our numbers, another 28,000. I'm going to do it. 25,000 down the drain. Hopefully it's worth it. Tropico is forbidden to contract trade routes with non-superpower trade partners. That's okay, because that's the only ones that we're doing. Let's go through and see if there's anything that we can sell them. We'll sell just like, you know, a little bit here and there. So we have 2 red ones. We can sell a little bit of rubber to the blue ones, blue guys, and that's it. A couple trade routes like here and there, just for a little bit extra money. Pretty convenient. All these on supply local market, so we just constructed another one. Let's go and see what our best taverns are up to. Oh, we have to wait for the sugar to fill into that place. But what I'm gonna do is go all the way out of my way to construct. You know what, I'm gonna go crazy with it, and we'll construct 4 of them here, and put a park in between them. Kind of definitely gonna be overkill, but it'll be okay. I was talking about it in the little recording that I'd already done, but kind of goofed it up. What I ended up doing was, I was recording, but I didn't have like my computer's audio recording. And so, like, the game was quiet. You would still hear me, but you wouldn't hear, like, the music or the game or anything. And I was like, no, I'm just going to start it over. But what I was talking about, deliver an amazing speech. What are they not happy about? Let's see. Faith, happiness. So we could build a couple more churches. Praise the communists. Blame no one. Promise improvement and nothing. I feel like these speeches drag on just way too long. Vacant jobs are still fine. Homeless families are alright. Let's go ahead and demolish 1, 2, 3, and put 2 more tenements down. Maybe what I could do is like a double orange one here. Make sure these budgets are all on the lowest and everything's on loose load limit. So we're not spending too much money on stuff we don't really need to be spending it on.
According to their need, from each according to their ability. Equality for all, especially those who are more equal than others.
Scramble this channel immediately. The code word is borscht. We have 20 seconds from now.
I wonder what this word means, borscht. These characters are like the funniest characters, I think. 20 immigrants. I always have this like thought, and I wonder if the immigrants that like countries give you, if their like political beliefs are based on where they come from. Like the Eastern Bloc is sending them, so I figured they'd be like all communist and militarist. I'm not sure. I've checked it like one time and it didn't seem like that, but that would be a really cool thing. To kind of do missions for like America, to get a bunch of Americans to come and support your cause without having to influence them. One tourist. What a scam. Completed another rescue raid. Let's check the population. We need more jobs. A bunch of new shacks have arisen. Reason being is that we need more tenements. So we will go through, demolish 1, 2, 3 more. Borscht. Check the plantations. Let's see where we can fit in what we have. Cocoa, banana, sugar. Cocoa, banana, sugar. We could do pineapples here. Tobacco, coffee. Looks like coffee might be the play. And we'll do rubber. Like, what would do best in this slot here? Maybe coffee. So I think coffee's gonna be the one that we specifically won't do. Quick build these because I'd rather get them down right away so we can start getting people to fill in those job sites. I clicked it, so that means I gotta go back to these sugar plantations and increase their budget back up. Multiculture. Disallow local consumption. Cool. Same thing with you. I destroyed these buildings, so I need to construct some new buildings. We'll start with orange here. And then maybe do a blue. So pretty soon we won't have any more bunkhouses once we destroy these 3. And everyone will be living in tenements. I'm getting tired of seeing buildings burn down, so I'm going to build the fire station up. And I think I'm going to call it right after this gets done constructing. Put it right here. I don't want these videos to drag on too much longer than an hour. And I don't want to have to like go through and edit these because these are... The main reason I want to do these little playthroughs is like half for entertainment, because it is pretty entertaining, I think, to see. Like, I like watching my own videos because it's kind of cool to see someone build up like really cool looking islands. But at the same time, once I got like a number of these done, I want to do...
Read these encoded instructions, then burn the communique and eat the ashes.
10-4. But I want to do like videos on the final product. Once I'm completely done with the island build, I want to go through and kind of just like explain everything. So once the whole island's built up, like the huge downtown area I'm gonna eventually get done, all the farms and stuff out here, I want to go through and talk about like why I did what. In the beginner's guide that I'm making, I specifically didn't talk about factions. I showed how to like set up like a generic way to influence your population, but I didn't go into depth about the factions, and the reason was because that would require a whole nother video. And so instead what I was going to do is do cool island builds and then explain the factions through those. And so that's going to be the end goal. But I've just realized that the video right now is already up to, I think, like an hour and 5 minutes. And so I'm going to go ahead and cut it here. I mean, I'm really excited about getting this entire island done. And I've been giving some thought into some other things I want to do. And I think what I'm going to start doing right now, like, tomorrow I won't be able to do it because I need to finish up the beginner's guide. But what I want to do is do a bunch of recordings in a day of these like playthroughs here, and then schedule them to be released once every day. And so then I could spend like a week getting a bunch of them done, and I'd have like a whole month where I wouldn't have to, because whenever you record one of these episodes, it's like an hour long, but then it takes like 45 minutes to export it, and then it takes like another like hour and 15, hour and a half to upload it to YouTube and to process it to high definition. And so like 1 hour long video takes 3 hours, and so that's why I didn't want to have to do like a whole lot of editing, because if I spend an hour or two editing, then it's like I could realistically only do one video a day, and then I'd just be like busy with that all day long. But I think I could just do a bunch of recordings and then export them all in like a day, and then spend a day uploading them, and then I'd be in a pretty good spot, I think. But if you enjoyed watching me set up this communist utopia, let's check what our current tourist visited is. Only 250. I mean, everything is coming along pretty strong. So right at the beginning of the next episode, I'll finish setting up a couple more plantations so that we are, because these plantations over here, they're all on the, oh no, multiculture. We need these on multiculture. So because they're on multiculture, we need a bunch of different plantations with different crops next to each other. And so of course the sugar plantation being in the middle, and because it's not on the lowest budget, it's got an efficiency over 100. Something burned down. A clinic. Oh no. Change that. Building inspections, that'd be nice. But because we want at least like a couple more plantations out here on multiculture, so that way we're getting like the most bang for our buck. And so that'll be the first thing I do at the start of the next episode. And then as soon as that's set up, we just finished our election. Oh, in 2 months. Okay, so this is like really, really great timing. So the election will be done in 2 months, right at the start of the next video, probably right as we're done finished setting up a couple more plantations. And then it'll be 10 years before we need to worry about keeping our support high. And so what I can do with that 10 years is do a bunch of things that's gonna make the capital or the communists upset, like setting up a whole bunch of cabins, and then by the time the next election rolls around, they'll forget about it. And so that'll be the start of the next video. But if you enjoyed sticking around for this playthrough, be sure to leave a like. I'm going to be doing a whole lot more of these, and so if you want to stick around for those, then be sure to subscribe. I'll be sure to put everything into nice and neat little playlists so that it'll be really easy to navigate everything on my channel. But peace.